If you're looking for a good panfish rig, I've got one for you. It's called the split shot rig. It's one of the most basic rigs out there, yet it is so effective. I've caught so many fish of all species on this thing, including panfish. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put one together and a couple different ways that you can fish it to catch all the panfish.
When I use this rig for panfish, more often than not, I'm going with ultralight gear because, in my opinion, ultralight gear and panfish are a match made in heaven. It's just so much dang fun. But when I select weights and hooks, it's really going to be dependent on a couple of factors. For hooks, it's going to be species dependent. For the larger hook right here, I'm going to be using this for stuff like crappie, but the smaller hook I probably use for bluegill and other sunfish. I expect that's what I'm going to be fishing for today, so I'm going to go with the smaller panfish hook. For weights, it's going to be dependent on the size of my rod and reel. So like I said, I more often than not use ultralight gear. That means my weight is going to be anywhere in the 2 to 6 pound test line. So if your line is a little bit heavier, might want to go with a little bit heavier weight, or if you want to get some more casting distance, go with a heavier weight. If you don't expect to cast that far and you have a really light test, like a 2 pound test line, you probably feel really comfortable with the lighter weights here. Also, there are a lot more variations of these weights. There are some that are heavier than the one up here up top. There are also ones that are lighter than the one here on the bottom, but you just got to select what weight fits your situation best. For me today, I think I want to be somewhere in the middle of all of this, so I'm going to select this medium size weight and the smaller panfish hook. Let's rig them up. To tie the hook on, go with your favorite fishing knot. Mine is the Palomar knot. And to tie a Palomar knot, I'm going to fold my line in half, form a little point with this line because I get to thread it through this tiny little eye. Just like that. And then with this folded over line, I'm going to make an overhand knot. That's going to create a loop over here on the right. I'm going to pull this loop over here through the eye, semi-tight, and then open up this tag end loop, run the hook through that loop, and then start to tighten up. But before I tighten this thing all the way, I actually want to wet this thing with some spit so it slides together easier and doesn't damage the line. Then when I've done that, I'm going to pull on the main line and the tag end to tighten up this knot. Then I will trim the tag end. When adding the weight, I place it 1 to 3 inches above the hook. Go ahead and slide it on there and create a little loop to hold it in place. Then with a pair of pliers, not my teeth because I don't want to chip or damage my teeth in any way because this lead will do that, I'm going to clamp this thing on. You don't have to go super tight here. I'd probably go about 50-60% pressure there, just like that, until you can see the weight there is sliding up and down. Now this thing's ready to be fished.
My bait's going to be Gulp Alive Waxies. These things are dynamite for panfish. I will show you guys what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip my rig out there and then just let it sink to the bottom. Sometimes they hit it on the drop, other times they don't, like that. I'm telling you guys, this rig is dynamite. So one nice thing about this rig, depending on what weight you got on there, that'll help you get some distance out there. Sweet, you'll be catching a little bluegill like this. Well, would you look at that? We got a little one on the drop. That is a heck of a lot of fun right there. Let's say the fish do not hit on the drop like that one you just saw did. I'll let it sink to the bottom. And if it sits there for a couple of seconds and the fish don't hit it, what I'll do is just slowly start bringing that thing back in. Bouncing it off the bottom, giving it a nice natural presentation, which is great with this split shot rig. With the split shot rig, it gives it that natural presentation. So if you're fishing in areas like this heavily pressured lake that I'm in there now, or you're fishing in clearer water where the fish are just super aware of their surroundings, this kind of rig, the split shot rig, is perfect for that because of that natural presentation. They won't be as wary as to like, hey, this looks like something I can eat. A little pop of the rod, not much. It does not take much to get that thing dancing around in the water. Got him one. Oh yes, right there on the rocks. Heck yeah. Got myself a pretty little green sunfish going slow off the bottom, but that leaves one more way that you can fish this thing. There's a second way I like to fish this rig, and to do that, I'm gonna cast it out, but instead of bringing it back all nice and slow like on the bottom, I'm gonna raise my rod tip up in the air at about a 45-degree angle and then jiggle the rod tip all the way back, just slowly reeling it in. But I want that thing to stay up in the water column, and I'll jiggle the rod tip just to get that thing dancing around in the water all nice and pretty like. Got him. Ooh, there we go, guys. Right up against them rocks. He was just waiting for it. Oh yeah, this guy's putting up a good old fight. Get you on in here, buddy, and get a picture of you. And that right there is the beauty of the split shot rig. But let's say you wanted to elevate your bait off the bottom a little better. I've got a video of a rig that is wonderful for that. It's called a drop shot rig. Here's the video right here if you guys want to check that out. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you next time.